Hi, and welcome to the one-to-one series.
On YouTube, of course. I'm today's host, Diarmuid O'Donovan, and you are?
Taylor O'Donovan.
Excellent. Now, guys, today's special guest is Mr. Columbia himself. Yeah, well, he's not really, but he should be. He should be sponsored by Columbia. This dude is freaking unbelievable. From the Pacific Northwest, this dude always needs a raincoat. He's one of the best landscape photographers. He leads workshops all over the road. And did I mention he's part of the F4 road trip? All right, let's not get held up anymore, Taylor. Let's jump over to interview. Who we got today?
Nick Page.
Enjoy the interview, guys. Hey yo.
See you in game.
And you're very welcome to the one-to-one series. Nick Page, thank you very much for coming on. Really do appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for having me on. This is fun. It's always fun to just kind of hang out and chat and yeah, I enjoy listening to your accent. So
I knew something about Ireland had to be in there, you know. So everyone loves us.
Well, when we can understand you, we love you.
I should actually start putting subtitles underneath my vlogs from now on, maybe.
You should. That'd be great.
Excellent, excellent. Come here. We're going to jump into the interview because there's loads, thousands of people who want to know more about Nick Page. So, who is Nick Page?
He's a chubby guy from the Pacific Northwest that likes to take photos. And one of the interesting things is I haven't been a photographer like all of my life. You know, a lot of times when you interview people that, you know, are deemed these professional photographers, they're like, yes, I started back in film and I've been photographing, you know, beautiful scenes since I was 10 years old. And I'm not like that at all. I didn't pick up photography till I was like mid 30s or late 30s, or not late 30s, early 30s. So however old I was, it was 2013. And
2013, same year as me, the exact same year. September 2013, I bought my first DSLR. It was a Canon 450D.
So that puts us in direct competition. We are contemporaries.
Oh yes, yes sir. And I was early 30s as well when I bought my first camera. Yeah,
it proves that it's never too late. It's never too late. And that,
very true.
You don't have to be, that's the thing that I love so much about photography is before photography, I was a musician. And with music, you know, a band is only ever as good as the most lazy band member. You know, they're only as good as that bass player that never shows up for practice. And what I loved so much about photography is the only thing ever holding me back from getting better was myself and the amount of time I was willing to put in. And you can learn it all for free on YouTube for the most part. So I loved being able to, like, you know, just go after it, and there was nothing holding me back with photography.
Cool. That's awesome. So can you tell me something that no one else kind of really knows about Nick Page?
Well, what does nobody else know about Nick Page? Well, I know I look like it, but I'm a golfer. Right? Don't I look like this stereotypical golfer?
What's that dude, the big hefty guy with the massive
John Daly.
John Daly.
John Daly's my hero, actually. I have a swing very similar to John Daly.
Very good.
Long and wrong.
That's pretty cool.
Before photography, I was a golf course greenskeeper, and I was a golf course greenskeeper because I loved golf, and now I teach photography because I love photography. But yep, you wouldn't guess it.
You actually wouldn't. But come here, look, so what would be your favorite sport? Like, you know, like since you're in America, maybe it could be American football or basketball, I hope. But like Gavin was claiming that he was an MMA expert, martial arts expert, and we kind of got the conversation talking about maybe you and him in the ring as heavyweights. So do you think you could, well, let's answer the second part of the question in a minute, but could you think you could take him in a heavyweight fight?
So it would be an interesting fight because I know that, you know, he's trained in all the fancy, like, I think he did kickboxing for a while, and I'm sure he can do all the, like, really pretty spins and kicks and stuff.
Did you see his highlight video that was in the video? That is actually really him.
No.
You need to watch that.
I haven't actually seen him do it. I can. Okay, here's what I know about Gavin. Gavin, like, I know that he's got like a really quick temper, right? So like if he was in a fight situation, like the minute he got hit for the first time, he would just start to see red and he'd be angry instantly. And I'm like the polar opposite of that, right? Because I'm like the
cooler.
I'm the cool-headed guy, and like, you know, I've actually, like, when I was a teenager, I would get in fights, and the guy would have to hit me 3 times before I'd be mad enough to fight back.
Wow.
So I'm the polar opposite of that. I'm really slow to anger, but then once I'm angry for like a day, you know, and he's really quick to anger. But the thing about Gavin is, you know, I've seen him in person enough to know that he doesn't deal with adversity very well. Like he's very, I don't want to use the word whiny.
Oh, you just did.
But he's kind of whiny, right? And I have a hard time envisioning Gavin Hardcastle taking a punch very well. You know?
So basically, in a roundabout way, you're saying you take him.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm bigger, I'm stronger. I may not be able to do all the fancy spin kicks and stuff.
Okay,
but I would just tackle him, and yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for this. This is going to be a pay-per-view.
It wouldn't even be a contest, I don't think. I think.
Oh yes, the gauntlet is handed down. This is going. We are going to sign this up on ESPN.
Yeah, he would start off really well, and then he'd get really mad, and then I'd just tackle him, and it'd be over. And once I got him on the ground, he would be in trouble.
Say no more. Say no more. So, come back to the first part of the question. What would be your favorite sport?
Well, now I think it is MMA. No, so golf is probably my favorite sport.
Golf.
It's definitely my favorite sport to play.
Okay,
also a big football and basketball fan. I know it's pretty stereotypical American of me to say, but I love the NBA, I love NFL, and I like golf.
Excellent. People say that I'm a Yank in an Irishman's body, so because I just love America, I love American sports. So,
who's your favorite basketball team?
Phoenix Suns. Yeah,
really?
Don't hold it against me. I've been watching basketball since the 90s.
Since the Barkley days?
Barkley era, yeah. When I saw that, and orange is my favorite colour for those people who don't know already. And orange is a big part of the Phoenix Suns jersey. So I was there going, oh my God, I love this. And then Barkley was just freaking awesome, man. You know, so yeah, Phoenix Suns.
See, I miss the Seattle Supersonics personally.
They were awesome.
Dude, in the Sean Kemp days, Sean Kemp was like my favorite guy to watch.
Yeah, he was epic. I mean, like, remember that dunk on Alistair Lister? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. He was the best dunker of all time, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, look, we'll move on off sports because people are going to be like, what, isn't this supposed to be about photography?
Yeah, what is this?
All right. So in one of your YouTube videos, you we're coming back to sports, ironically enough, you got to do American football for the NFL with the Sony lens and all that. What was it like to do kind of an American football thing? And is it something that you'd like to do a bit more?
Yeah, it's definitely something I would like to do more. I don't know that I would want to be like, have that be my job where I have to travel with the team every week. Like that amount of travel would probably get really old. But there is no better way to watch a football game than standing next to the punter or down on the sidelines. I've shot probably 5 games now. And the first 3 of them, still when I go to shoot a game, I'm just like goosebumps, and it is just such an electric, exciting atmosphere. There's nothing more fun. I love landscape photography, but sports photography, what I like so much about it is that you're just trying to keep up with the action. Yeah. And you're just a fly on the wall, and you're just trying to react and keep up. And it's so different because you're not in control of many of the elements. You're just trying to like be a fly on the wall and keep up, and it's so different, and I love it. It's so exciting too.
And I've done a few basketball games here in Ireland, and they're not at the same stage as they are in America. But like when a game is tight, then you almost get like goosebumps on your skin and your hair, and then you're like, come on! And then you notice yourself, you're not even taking pictures, you're just screaming for your team to win.
Right. And there's no environment as loud either. Like the last 4 games that I've shot have been in the Mercedes Superdome in New Orleans, which is notoriously one of the loudest arenas. And man, when the crowd like builds and that roar builds, it's just like, it still gives, like, those are goosebumps. It gives you chills. It's so loud, and there's just such an electric energy. It's really fun. It's really really fun.
When I come over, you can bring me to an American football game. We'll see what it's like.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just put you in my camera bag.
Cool. Anyway, so we're going to jump over and talk about the F4 road trip just a small bit. So I got the VIP package, and thank you very much. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm on episode 8, so no spoilers, please. I mean, but I have to say, your acting skills have really impressed me, and that's all jokes aside. I mean, like, how do you do it? And like, you're so good at it. Is it easy to pull it off? Is it easy to do? Like,
you think that I was acting? That's the funny thing. I wasn't acting. That was real, man. No, I got better. Like in Gavin's videos on his YouTube channel, like when we first started hanging out, that was kind of my first experience with trying to act, and I was awful. So, but the nice thing is I had lots of time to reflect on just how bad I was, that it made me better, that when we had this project coming up and I was like, oh man, I'm better improve on that acting, because I don't want to have to watch myself for 10 episodes of junk. So it got better. I think the acting got better as we went on.
I genuinely, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And if you think back to the F4 launch on the Zoom trip, like Gavin talks about, I watched an old Will Ferrell film from a few years back, and like he realised how bad the acting was, and he said, guys, I think we have a chance.
This is a perfect opportunity for you to explain where all this money's coming from.
What's the average miles per gallon in this vehicle?
About 4. Yeah, it was interesting. I'll tell you though, that by far the best actor among us is Adam. Like, and it's so hard to good. Like be doing a scene with Adam and have him say something just so ridiculous, and in the way he says it, there are so many outtakes from that just because he cracked us up every time he opened his mouth. That, and of course Brody McBrabra.
Oh, he was brilliant. But like, if you remember back to when you and Adam were kind of having a tiff or whatever, like he was having a falling out, he thought you were crazy. You went into the truck and he runs over, I don't want to shoot with Nick anymore, I don't like him. And it was so real, and he's very good. He deserves an Oscar for some of the parts he played in it. Like,
Then we can start getting my stuff. Yeah. I'm not shooting with him. I'm not shooting with Nick.
What's the problem?
Well, he ran over my 10.
And what's crazy is so much of that was just like first take. Like, we didn't know what we were gonna say.
Wow.
And we just rolled with it. We ad-libbed it all, and it's amazing how much of it worked out.
Excellent. That's brilliant. But come here, let's jump onto your images now. Like, I think in my head that you are kind of leading the league in the F4 up to episode 8. There's still more 2 episodes to go on the standard and the quality of images. But do you have an advantage over the other 3 guys because you have done these kind of areas already before? So you know the compositions, you know where to be, but you are a victim of being seduced by the light also. So what do you think you have an advantage?
I definitely had an advantage because, as I was kind of in a way the guide for the whole F4 road trip, because we basically just hit up a bunch of places that I already knew about. Gavin had been to a lot of these places before as well. So that definitely gave me an advantage, especially when we're photographing the seascapes and stuff. Like, that's my territory. But I will say though, I was really mad because I felt like both Adam and Gavin outshot me when we were photographing the big waves. I really loved the wave shots that they got.
I love them.
And when I saw theirs, I was a little bit angry because that was supposed to be my thing. That they're in my hood, and they had the audacity to outshoot me.
How dare
I didn't
they?
like that.
How dare they? Who do you think they are like? It's not on. It's not on.
Yeah.
So look, the Oregon coast, it does look so special. It really does look truly amazing, especially Cape Disappointment. But what is your favorite place to photograph besides the Oregon coast?
Besides the Oregon coast.
Yeah, you can't choose that. It's got to be
That's
somewhere,
tough.
anywhere else in the world. It could be Bali, it could be Kauai, it could be wherever you want.
Oh man. Well, there's two places that I continue to go to, and there's a reason for that. Like to me, like a good photo location isn't just that it's photogenic in one type of light. It's photogenic in all types of light. So you never feel like you're taking a risk at going to this place because, you need the conditions to be right in order to get good photos. So, Iceland, it's popular for a reason. Because regardless of the type of weather that you get, you always have an opportunity to get good photography done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if it's cloudy and rainy, you go shoot a waterfall. If you got a good chance for a nice sunset, you can go shoot a seascape. There's so much that you can photograph in Iceland. It's a very versatile type location. And that's why it's like the perfect opportunity for leading workshops because, if the weather's bad, you can still do good photography. Kauai is kind of like that because, the weather is always perfect in Kauai. It's always like 50% chance of rain, partly cloudy skies, and 75 degrees, and you can go swimming in the middle of the day. It's like always perfect weather. And it's perfect weather not just for like tourists, with big empty skies, but there's always like big puffy clouds in the sky. It's really nice. And the nice part about Kauai is because it rains so often, there's more rainbows in Kauai than any place on earth. So like, it's totally normal to see like 5 rainbows in a day. That's just how it is there. And
I didn't even think it rained in Hawaii, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Exactly. For that reason, you never feel like you're taking a risk by going there because the worst case scenario is you go get drunk on the beach.
I like it.
There's worse ways to spend a day than going to Kauai. And like, if it's pretty, you take your camera out. And if it's not, you just drink a Mai Tai on the beach.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty awesome. And look, you got married there recently, I think, didn't you? Congratulations, only a couple of months back.
Yep. Yeah. And it turned into a photo trip. Like I
Don't tell her
didn't
that.
like go out and shoot on the wedding day, but every other day I did.
Oh my God, my wife would hang my nuts off. I'm telling you.
She knew what she was getting into. But she's a photographer too, so she kind
you're
of
blessed.
understands doubly. We have one of those weird households where we're both full-time photographers. So
Awesome.
a lot of couples, they talk about the weather and the news at dinner table, and we talk about white balance and composition
Sure.
and lighting. So
That'd be cool.
We can't get away from it in our house.
That's epic. That's really cool. So come here, let's move over to our gear section. So you have a Sony, am I right? I think that's what you have.
Yep.
Why do you shoot on that camera and what are the pros and cons of it?
So I shot with Canon cameras from when I first started up until what's it been 2 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And the biggest so there was 2 main reasons that I switched to Sony. One was image quality. The Sony sensors have more dynamic range, which is really, really nice for landscape photography. It means that a lot of times you don't ever have to bracket your images. You can just expose for your highlights, boost your shadows, and you're good. Yep. So that's really nice. They had more megapixels, which means I can print larger. And probably, and I hate to admit this, but probably one of the biggest reasons I switched to Sony is because I was taking my YouTube channel more seriously and I wanted to have better video quality. And Sony cameras just blow away, for the time being, Canon cameras because you're shooting with a full frame camera, which means that I can have one camera for my video camera, one camera for my stills camera. They all use the same lenses, so I don't have to take 2 separate systems. And you have the benefit of having a full frame sensor, which means it's easier to get a shallow depth of field. It's easier to get a wide angle, really good low light performance, which when you're vlogging is really, really handy because a lot of times you're out there before sunrise or after sunset. And it just made for a really nice system, and I can record everything in 4K with no crop. I know that the new Canon cameras that are coming out are looking kind of intriguing. I don't know if I'll always be a Sony shooter because there are things about Canon that I miss. Like I miss the touch screen functionality of the rear screen, or just the quality of that rear screen. I miss how it felt in the hand. You know, you had a nice grip on it. Like there's some things that I miss. We'll see. We'll see what this
I have the Canon ESR. I have two of them, in fact, and I absolutely swear by them, Nick. I think they're fabulous. Okay, they got one card slot. Get over it. It's not the end of the world, you know.
Yeah.
But the quality, even from the video, especially when you're shooting in C-Log, and like I'm shooting this video right now in C-Log, and it's recording externally to an Atomos Ninja 5, so we can shoot in 10-bit.
That's a fancy setup, man.
Well, it's all right. Like, you know, I get by.
Nothing but the best for your followers.
Oh, exactly. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, even like this is the 9th episode of the 1-to-1 series, and every episode so far, my video is streets ahead of any other guest I've had on. And that's not their fault. It's just the quality of the setup that I have is awesome.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that you had 8 people on before me?
I was practicing for you see, so I could get the confidence up to ask you the questions.
That makes me feel better. You're practicing.
Yeah.
You wanted to warm up to the good stuff.
All right, so come here. You've got to work with some of the best people in the game. Like, you just look at the F4 road trip. Like, those guys are absolutely awesome. Yep. But is there one person that you've never shot with before that you would love to shoot with? Who would that be?
You know, Ryan Dyer. Ryan Dyer, like I consider him a friend. We talk pretty often, but I've never got to, like, you know, hang out and go shooting with him. And Ryan Dyer was probably one of the most influential photographers, especially like in my first 3 years. He was the guy that I put up on the pedestal, and all of his work is just incredible. Ryan Dyer, Michael Shainblum was another one. I've shot with Michael before now, and so he's fell off the pedestal. He's just a normal human. But, you know, until you hang out with somebody, they're like up on this pedestal, and you're pretty sure that, you know, that they can do no wrong. Once you hang out with somebody, that you realize, oh, they're just a person. so Ryan Dyer's still up here in like semi-god status for me.
He's still cool. Excellent. So come here. Every time I watch you on TV or on YouTube or whatever, you have Columbia clothes, and let me guess, you're wearing a Columbia hat and a Columbia shirt right now.
This is not a Columbia hat. This is a Walla Walla Steak Company hat.
Oh, right. Nice.
Because they, you know, if you want a good steak and you're in Walla Walla, Washington, got to go to Walla Walla Steak Company.
But look, you always wear Columbia, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love Columbia. I have loads of Columbia gear myself, but why is it always Columbia? Like, why could you not wear something like Rab, or do you even know what Rab is? I suppose you do, because Thomas Eaton loves that stuff.
Okay, so we're about to get very honest, very real here.
Okay.
Columbia, the reason I wear them is because I am a larger guy, and Columbia just has stuff that actually fits, you know, and and it's kind of funny, but a lot of outdoor clothing companies, they're meant for hikers. And the funny thing about hikers is that oftentimes they're not obese. They're not an overweight hiker is almost an oxymoron. And so Columbia is one of the very few brands that actually has things XXL. In the fluffy person size.
I love it. The fluffy person size.
And, you know, that's probably the main reason I wear them. Like they have this one particular line that is like the pro fishing gear, which I'm not a fisherman, but what's nice about that is it's a little bit looser fitting, and it's made for guys that, you know, don't walk very far from their pickup trucks, and it's perfect for people of my particular circumference. So that's why I wear so much Columbia gear, is because it fits better.
Perfect. I've always wondered. I was like, why is he always wearing Columbia? Does he not wear anything else? But that has just answered my question absolutely beautifully. But like, even in one of the episodes, you're walking up a bit of a hill, and what did you say? Was it something like landscape photography is for people who are fitness or something, and I am not that. You know, so it was very funny.
The overweight landscape photographer is literally a dying breed. Literally. Yeah. Oh, and funny. You know, this the quarantine time has not been kind to my particular physical fitness regimen, because I haven't been getting out and hiking, and and golf are pretty much my main sources of activity. Exercise. And when one of them goes away, you definitely notice it when you stand on the scale. It kind of sucks. Need to get back on the hiking train.
There you go. There you go. We'll get you out there. So let's jump over to your YouTube channel now. And like, dude, I mean, you're crushing it. I mean, like, you've more or less close to 115,000 subscribers. What's that like, knowing that you've that amount of people who more or less worship the ground you stand on?
So I'm different in the sense that I don't think about it very much, honestly, because I look at that number and I know that, like, I don't actually have that number of people that follow me, because my channel has been a little bit more, I don't know, ADD in what I do. You know, like in the beginning, I was doing everything from, like, you know, portrait retouching videos, and because I've shot some sports and I review lenses and stuff. I get these followers from many different places. And then when I talk about the thing that I actually am passionate about, which is landscape photography out in the field, you know, not all of those people are even interested in that, so they don't watch my videos. Even though I have that many subscribers, it does not mean that I have that many viewers. Like, if you look at Gavin's videos, he's got a third the amount of subscribers that I do, maybe a little bit more than that. And his videos often do better than mine, just because every single one of his subscribers wants to watch his video, because he's very focused on what it is that he does. But because my videos have been kind of all over the place, like, I have some interested subscribers, some that are not interested, you know, people waiting for the next, like, NFL video, which is not going to be anytime soon. Just because you have that number doesn't mean you have that many viewers.
Okay, interesting. Good answers. So let's jump over back to the F4 road trip again. So, like, it was an absolutely amazing trip. And like I said, I'm still only in episode 8, and I absolutely love it. Is there a chance? Is there going to be a season 2? Like, could Netflix or Amazon Prime pick up on this? Like, and I'm not joking, I'm serious. I think it can be picked up by a bigger television network. So could there be another season on the horizon?
I think there could be another season in the horizon. It's going to have to be a little while, because we're all kind of tired of each other, as you can well imagine. That, and you know, there was so much kickback on the price. I think that the easiest way to get it out to the number of people that would like to see it at that low price point, the easiest way would be for it to be picked up by an Amazon or a Netflix or somebody. And, you know, even with this first series, we had people pitching it. You know, that was kind of, still is maybe in the works. We don't know.
Okay.
But the problem with releasing it like that is it would have to be totally different. Because if you think about it, if we released it on Netflix, there's going to be a whole lot of people that are not serious photographers watching it. And if we have 20 minutes of serious landscape photography education in each episode, those people are just going to tune out as soon as that stuff starts. So we would have to release a version of it with so much less instruction and education in it. It would be a different product.
Yeah,
so
I get you.
But from our perspective, the storyline and the entertainment is the most fun for us. So it might not be a bad thing. So I don't know. It would be a different product if it was released that way, I think. But there's definitely a chance for season 2.
Excellent. I really look forward to it. And I'm holding off on watching those last 3 episodes because I'm trying to space them out, because, like, Darren binge watched the whole thing from start to finish, all 10 episodes. And I was like, dude, you got to make it last. It's like a chocolate bar, you know? Like, you eat 1 chocolate bar, tastes good. Eat 2, it's not as good. Eat 3, and then it's because you start to feel sick. So I wanted to space it out and kind of last it, you know? But that's just my kind of way of doing things. But yeah, I'm dreading when the 10th one is over. I'm going to be like, I have nothing else to watch. But I can go and watch the tutorials and all that, because we have got the VIP package. So look, the F4 road trip, the VIP package is absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't bought it, for those people watching right now, it's definitely worth it. You have to buy it, genuinely. It's just jaw-droppingly good. So go buy it now, and we'll leave a link down below also. But come here, look, I've noticed lately in the last few weeks that you have been putting in a massive amount of effort into your vlogs and your YouTube videos. I mean, like, you're really being meticulous about every shot, where you stand, where the camera is. it's a lot of work. Can you keep it up? Because it is very taxing on you as you're doing the vlogs, and it can kind of get to you at times, because I tried from time to time and then I just kind of go, feck it, I couldn't be bothered, you know?
Yeah, so I have been putting in more effort into my vlogs, and I think I'll be able to keep it up, just because for me, the only way that I really want to keep putting out stuff is if it's somehow different than my old stuff, right? There's nothing worse to me than like just, doing the same video over and over and over. And that's kind of some of the inspiration for some of the less talking videos I've been doing, because I want the video. First of all, I've gotten really tired of the sound of my own voice. I just feel like I just sit there and rant and ramble over and over and say the same damn things over and over and over. And what including less dialogue into my videos has allowed me to do is it makes each little adventure completely different from previous ones, because it's more about what I'm doing and where I'm doing it than me. And because if I make every video about me, like, at some point it's just going to be the same thing over and over and over, because I don't change that much, but where I'm at and what I'm doing does change. And so by including less dialogue, I think that it's more about that particular day, that particular story. And it's way more enjoyable for me to do, because it's eliminating some of the most annoying parts, which is just listening to me ramble. I get so tired of just listening to that damn know-it-all, like talk about the same 3 settings over and over and over. And these latest videos have really been more enjoyable for me for that reason, I think.
I love it, especially Giants in the Mist, and we kind of featured it in Gavin's video there last week. It's beautiful, and like, I don't think you said a word until about 2 or 3 minutes from the end, and it's just every scene was just seamlessly went together. So well done, keep it up. I love watching them.
It is a lot more work, because in order to keep it interesting, you have to have way more clips to work with, because like, set up your camera, you walk into the scene, and then you got to see what I'm looking at, and then you got to look back at me, and then you got to start to take my bag off, and then you cuts to set the bag down, and then it cuts to a different angle. It's a lot of moving my camera around and stuff, but in the end, I think it's totally worth it. There's some types of outings where it works really well with, ones that are not time sensitive. Like if you're photographing a quickly changing sunset, that'd be very, very difficult. But, ones like, the Giants in the Mist video where, things are not changing that much. It's very much. And I don't know if I've got it somewhere, but I upgraded my microphone, because I've been doing more stereo audio for my videos to give it more of a sense of place, to have more of that ambiance. And so I bought like this, $600 Rode stereo microphone, which is...
I know the one, the X, is it? The video mic? Yeah. Okay, I know the one that kind of picks up kind of a 360 degrees audio, kind of immerses you in the scene, really.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to start putting it to use. That's also one of the downsides to only being interested in making those kind of videos right now, is that, it's way more work, and it has to be the right situation, which means that I'm not going to be pumping out videos very often, but I'm okay with that. I would rather be putting out far less, but have them be better videos, than be putting out a video every 3 days and have them all be junk, which I feel like they would be.
True. All right. So what's the next project for Nick Page?
Oh, next project. Well, I think because of, all the COVID stuff, it's put a big hamper on the amount of workshops. Like, it's a really bad time to be a workshop leader. I've had to reschedule 3/4 of my year for next year. Well, but the benefit to that is that it's freed me up to shoot on my own more. One of the biggest downsides to leading that many workshops is that there's no time left to go photograph or work on personal projects. So for me, like, I'm trying to get out and shoot for myself more, which is almost a novelty these days, because in the last couple of years, every time I've gotten out to shoot, it's in a teaching photography mode. And it's completely different to just go out and be a photographer. It's actually been pretty nice. So I've been getting out and shooting a lot more, as much as I can. And I want to take some of this time to kind of develop some of the back end stuff for like selling prints, which I really haven't focused on in quite a few years now. And this is going to be the first year that I actually put out a calendar since the very first year that I did photography. So I've been photographer since 2013. I've only released one calendar and it was terrible. So I feel like I have a good enough portfolio now that I can put together a pretty solid calendar.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Well, I might be able to dig up a couple photos.
Okay.
If I can't now, I won't ever be able to. So this year I'm going to be putting some work in doing a really nice, high quality calendar.
Cool. I was actually supposed to lead my first own workshop in August, but it still could go ahead, but I don't know if it will, it was here in Ireland. But speaking of Ireland, actually, I know you were here at the Cliffs of Moher here, and it's amazing, but you didn't get to go to the best parts of it. So I need you to come back and I can show you the best. So you can take me down
to the base, I want to come back for sure. Speaking of coming back, can I live on your couch? Because
absolutely, because Gavin is staying in the dog bed in the front sitting room. It's the half-star accommodation. You get half a sausage and half a rasher for breakfast and one bean. So
that sounds perfect.
Yeah. So that's what Gavin has booked anyway. So I'm sure I could find something for you. And I have converted my van into a /camper. So maybe one of you could stay in that.
Worst case scenario, I could live in your van.
Yeah,
down by the
spot
river.
on, buddy. On the ball. So when you coming over?
Probably. I don't know if you're up to date with, world events, but America's a strange place right now.
Yeah, I know a guy called Michael Leary. He owns Ryanair, so we'll get you over. Don't worry about it. Top class airline,
Yeah, I could see myself being a full-time Irishman. That wouldn't be a bad place to live.
Yeah, cool. But come here, Nick, thank you very much for coming on the 1-to-1 series. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you have liked this video, please give us a like. And if you want to see more of these videos, do subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. And you've got any questions for Nick or myself, please do leave them in the comments down below. And we will do our best to answer them. Buddy, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, man. It's been fun.
Hey, yo.